Hi, good afternoon, Trondheim friends, and welcome to this week's episode of Patio Ponderings. And I am doing this episode a couple days earlier than normal because I want to be out on a day where it's 30 plus degrees instead of single digits. So my patio today is it's a mobile patio. I'm going to take you for a little walk. And the reason why we're walking today is that Jesus did a lot of walking in his ministry, and this traveling is part of what has me pondering something this week. So the story that we heard on Sunday was the story of the miracle of changing water into wine at the wedding in Cana. Now, I imagine they went to Cana maybe from Nazareth, from home. I'm not quite sure on that one. The story after, in the book of John, is Jesus in Jerusalem. And in that story, he is turning over the tables of the money changers. Now, in between the wedding at Cana and the story in Jerusalem, we get this one little verse that sits there all by itself. And this is what it says. After this, so that would be after the wedding at Cana, Jesus, his mother, his brothers, and his disciples went down to Capernaum and stayed there for a few days. So do you have that little trip mapped out in your mind? You go from Nazareth to Cana, to Capernaum, to Jerusalem. And of course, they walked the whole way. But there's two particular things about this little verse stuck in there that I'm wondering. And the first is the destination, Capernaum. And the second is the group of travelers. So let's start with Capernaum. I have no idea why Jesus is going to Capernaum. We're not told anything about it. I imagine that some of the disciples, being fishermen, are maybe from Capernaum. So maybe they're going in to check in with family. Maybe it's for a few days of rest. Nothing is mentioned about Jesus' ministry there, if he does any ministry there. So we're left to simply wonder. But what I'm really intrigued by is the group of travelers. We've got Jesus' brothers and mother, so his family, and his disciples. I kind of wonder, what do his brothers think about Jesus walking around with a group of guys who follow him everywhere? Do they get why they're doing that? Do they have any sense of who Jesus really is yet? We know Mary knows, but I don't know about his brothers and how those two worlds, the worlds of family and ministry, come together. That's maybe a much more natural confluence than it might be for us in our day and age. And then to note that Mary's the only woman traveling. So that's it. It's just got my imagination and trying to create a story of why they're going, how it came that this group of people, family and disciples both, are traveling, and what the story is there, and why is it mentioned in the Bible with nothing else, no other details with it. But I do think it's important to do that imagination work, even if we never get any answers. And here's why. Because all these questions and all these wonderings really get at Jesus' humanity. You know, we talk about Jesus as the Son of God, as the Word made flesh, but Jesus is fully human. He had family, he had brothers, he had parents, he had disciples, he had friends, and he had a life with them, and he traveled with them. And that has the same implications for Jesus as it might for us. And so I think it is important and helpful to imagine and think about Jesus' life in that way. Helps us better know Jesus. So what do you think? What story would you create about Jesus going to Capernaum walking there with his mother, his brothers, and his disciples? I'd love to hear that one from you. Let me know. In the meantime, have a great day, and we'll see you Sunday. Bye.